Today I don't have a joke because I had a long drive yesterday, 14 hours to be exact, from Chicago back to Dallas. But welcome to Racing Home Podcast. You're joined by your two hosts, Fez Bobber and Nick Agater.
What's up, guys?
How's it going, Nick?
Pretty damn good. I'm not as tired as you. You had a heck of a drive yesterday, driving from Chicago all the way down to Dallas in one go.
Yeah, I was gonna break the drive out into two drives. That's why I took 2 days. That's why I took 2 days of PTO. However, I got to the halfway point in Springfield, Missouri, and I was like, I'm actually not that tired. So I'm gonna push it like maybe 2-3 more hours. And when I pushed it 2-3 more hours, I did get tired, but then I was only 3 hours from home. So I was like, I'm just gonna
keep pushing it. Just be careful. You don't want to be someone on the side of the road.
As I got on 75, the highway, basically like this 20 minutes from home, I started nodding off. Like I was literally like my head was going down, and I was like, oh god, I gotta wake up. Nope, almost there. I can't do this.
So what hour did you get home?
Around 2 a.m.
Oh, that's not as bad, because I checked on your location before I went to sleep, and you were still like somewhere in Oklahoma. In my head, I was like, oh, he's parking there for the night, and that was at like 11 o'clock.
Yeah, I think I was really tired because I woke up at 7 a.m. So yeah,
that's
I was really
really
tired
early for you. You only got 5. You're telling me the way I need to get you out of bed is to make you go to sleep super late, get you to only have 5 hours of sleep, and wake up at 7 a.m.
I went to bed at 10 p.m.
Wait, what? How did you get home at 2 a.m. and then you woke up at 7 a.m.?
No. The day before. After Autobahn was over, I packed up, got home. I was so tired that I fell asleep at 10 p.m. and I woke up at 7 a.m. and I left Chicago. Day. I left Chicago at like 11 a.m. because I had to like pack up and clean up the house and whatnot before leaving.
Gotcha.
I was running a very I had been up for a while, so I was tired by 11 p.m. Yeah.
Oh man. So before we get into your Autobahn weekend, any sponsors, any partners you want to shout out?
Biggest sponsor of them all, myself, Mariza Motorsports. Sponsoring all your 86s in your neighborhood and other cars, if you ask me nicely.
Just keep dumping those DMs into his Instagram. He'll respond eventually.
I get a bunch of DMs now from random people, and I haven't had a chance. Like my request folder is kind of like there's like 5 or 6 people there right now, and I'm like I haven't had time to respond to them recently. So I need to get back to you guys. I'm really sorry, but I will answer all your questions.
He's back in Texas. The car, the rig, everything's back in Texas, so he's gonna have time soon to respond.
Heck yeah. But yeah, man, that and then a couple other sponsors. I would like to shout out Race Brake Components for their splitter, Inertia Lab for their coilovers. Chris has been a great help this year, and we're going to get those coilovers revalved very soon and be testing them also very soon. Who else? Zestec for their hub, CSG for their pads.
You have way too many parts in this car. You have a lot of help.
Regardless, all the sponsors, really great. Really appreciate all the sponsors for helping me out this season. It would not be possible without them. Nick, you got something?
For me, I got 3 of them. JST Performance, Brian Tyson is the tuner behind the laptop, who has helped me so much with keeping the car on the track and going fuel wise. So the car is still running phenomenally on the 85. So thank you again, Brian Tyson from JST Performance. COBB Tuning themselves, I have their intercooler exhaust as well as like their access port, and they have been a huge helping out with the intercooler problems that I have, and I've had no issues since getting the new intercooler design. And we will be talking more about them later on this podcast about their recent little settlement they had with the government. And then
let's dig into that.
Oh, hold on. One more.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Damon Motorsports. So I'm running his engine mounts and transmission mounts, and the car feels amazing, powertrain wise. Like I love the feel of it, and he's been phenomenal to work with. So if you need anything for your Focus ST or Focus RS, reach out to JSC Performance, COBB Tuning, and Damon Performance. I guarantee you, between the 3 of them, they got the part you need for your Focus. Okay, Autobahn first or EPA? I was gonna say shit, but EPA stuff first. Which one?
Um, EPA straight first. I think that since you mentioned COBB tuning and they're going through a lawsuit for from the EPA, and now they have to be carb
They
legal.
were, they
They
were, and now it's
were okay.
so now it's actually settled. So
Okay, spill the beans.
So all the news that's come out since yesterday. So COBB Tuning and the EPA reached an agreement of $2.91 million as far as the settlement, plus
Two point
several
what?
$2.9 million. 2.9
Two
million.
$2.9 million. Okay.
Yeah. So $2.9 million
Uh-huh.
that COBB needs to pay the EPA, and that is going to be over the course of 4 installments, and over the course of 3 years. So, plus several actions. Now, what does this mean for COBB? Like, what changes with the company for their product lineup?
Mhm.
Absolutely nothing. Nothing changes at all. I actually spoke to Brian about this earlier today just to make sure I was reading everything, and he said, yeah, all of the changes that the EPA is requiring COBB to go and execute, COBB has already done that back in 2021, 3 years ago, when they first received notification
Mhm.
about being out of compliance. This is
Mhm.
really the settlement, the financial figure, and then all the literature about the changes that they need to do. It is just
Mhm.
a formality to like have it written in the record, but
Mhm.
Comp has already done all the changes. So anyone who is worried about, which myself, I was concerned about any kind of changes that I'd have to take part in. Nothing
Mhm.
changes at all. Um, I had notes. Hold on, where my notes go? So yeah, nothing to worry about. Selling price and actions are just a formality. Cobbler's already implemented changes 3 years ago in 2021. Cars are still getting tuned. Brian is still working on several customer cars, including his own shop car.
Mhm.
Recently, a Civic Type R FL5 that he now has on E30 fuel. He's trying to push it for 85 later. So he's still working out the horsepower numbers, but it is responding incredibly well. That's a really, really good street class car.
How much power is he
Um,
making out of the FL5?
I think he's done 380 so far on just E30. It's a ton of power. I'm very surprised at how much he's putting down to the wheels.
What's the difference from the
Uh,
FL5 to the FK8?
I don't know. I'm not the right person to ask about
We
that.
got to
But it
get Eddie on
FL,
here.
yeah, FL5 appears to be responding a whole lot better to power upgrades compared to FK8, but I don't know why.
I wonder if
So
there's
hold
going
on, a
to be
little
any
bit more.
cooling. Oh, sorry.
On track, doesn't Williams seem to be doing better on track heat wise, but it still has some heat management problems that all turbo cars have, modern turbo cars. Oh, so a little bit more on the EPA thing with COBB.
Mhm.
So, like, the EPA is stating that parts that COBB sells need to be CARB compliant, and COBB was already producing CARB compliant products before this regulate or the investigation occurred. Like, I remember when I had my '04 Subaru WRX wagon back in
Mhm.
2013, like, there were several CARB products already on the line or already on the shelf. And so currently they have over 200 compliant products. Um, and yeah, this is just a formality. All the changes that COM needs to do has already been done 3 years ago. So nothing changes.
So let's backtrack a little bit. I want to understand like why they got sued to begin with. Were they not carb legal, or did they
No,
just
they
want to
were
cut
carbon. So the little boo boo that I see that Cobb was doing, that really got the EPA kind of mad, was that pro tuners did have the capability of essentially hiding the check engine light whenever the ECU saw that there was no catalytic converter. So someone who installed a catless downpipe on their vehicle, the pro tuner could hide the check engine light
that? Hmm.
for that lack uh, of a catalytic converter.
Okay.
And the only thing that I'm not so sure about is I'm not sure if they were also able to falsely ready, like have the ready signal. So like
Mm-hmm.
those monitors that need to be ready and reading accurately to then
Mm-hmm.
go and get an emissions test. At least you pull up to any random Firestone for state inspection. They plug in the OBD2 scanner. They are looking for all of your ready signals. I think you're allowed to have one not ready. Don't quote me on that one, but let's assume that it's 100% ready signals is what they're expecting to see. The COB access port, I think, could falsely say ready, and a car could pass inspection, even though they don't have a catalytic exhaust. But now, COBB has gone into the Pro Tuning software, removed that capability. So now, let's say someone has or does not have a catalytic converter, and the ECU sees the lack of that because it's comparing the O2 readings. Check engine light comes in, and there's nothing that the Pro Tuner can do. The only thing the owner could do is they can take it on their own to go and install a defouler and trick the ECU into thinking that there's a cat in there when there's actually not. But that's nothing that COBB offers. Like, that would be a physical hardware where you're tricking the O2 readings to make the ECU think that there's a cat in there, even though there's not. But that is nothing that COBB would be doing to manipulate that, and that's nothing that the tuner would be doing to manipulate that. That would be 100% on the owner to go and do that legwork.
Got it. So, are the tuners being prosecuted? Because they're the ones who are actually programming it off.
Correct. No, they're not being prosecuted, and I don't know how they're not. Yeah, I don't know about that aspect. It seems to me like the EPA is going towards the larger companies. It's almost like in a drug dealing scheme, like you go after the dealer, not after the users. And so, like, it's really annoying because it really is on the end user for taking those illegal actions. Not necessarily. I don't like COBB isn't the one that's installing these illegal emission products, and they're not. And it's not on the access port either. But unfortunately, the EPA went after COBB. But they've been in this legal battle for 3 years, and they were able to settle at that 2.9 million. Oh, also, their revenue stream for 2023 was 18.3 million.
For COBB?
COBB Tuning was 18.3 million revenue. So
I didn't know COBB was that big.
I didn't either. I was looking at the financials, like, how big is this penalty really? Like, is this like their entires? Is this half a year? Is this a whole year? What is the comparison? It is what, a ninth of their revenue. 2023.
So most businesses make about 20% profit. That means they're profiting roughly $3.8 million a year.
Okay, so for 1 year, they don't have profit, basically.
They still have $1 million profit for 1 year.
Yeah.
All right. So Subaru was a really big market for COBB. But the thing is, like, Ecutech is another company that a lot of people use for like the 8.6 community and the Supra community. You can do the same thing in that, I'm pretty sure. So I'm assuming the government just went for the largest fish if they're making $8.9 million revenue. So they're not small.
No, and on top of that, COBB Tuning and Ecutech are actually owned by the same parent company.
Oh.
So
how does that work?
Well, have you noticed how like their the vehicle portfolios are not overlapping?
No, I'm not. Well, that makes sense, but I'm saying, like, how is Ecutech still able to do all that? Because I don't have a check engine light on my car.
I don't know. I have zero idea. Maybe Ecutech is currently undergoing an investigation as well. I have no idea about Ecutech. But I do know is that there's a parent company, I forget the exact name, I can look it up later, that owns both COBB and Ecutech, which is why the GR86, COBB Tuning provided the off-the-shelf tune for the GR86 as tuned on Ecutech.
I wonder how big the Honda tuning community is, like the K-tuned. Well, not K-tuned. I guess K-tuned. I don't know much about Honda. Honda, Mega Squirt.
I don't know.
I don't know too much about that community, but interesting. So basically, it's already done. They just got to pay up at this point.
They got to pay up, and the changes are now written into the record. That's it.
And it does not impact anyone in any way, minus them just having a check engine light now.
Correct.
Cool.
Yeah, that's it. So nothing to worry about.
All right. Well, Nick solved the case, guys.
COBB Tuning behind us. Autobahn. How was your weekend?
So, okay, leading up to Autobahn, I did Road America and got P4. We talked about that in the previous podcast.
Yep.
I towed the car home, parked it, and went on my work trip, came home. I have not touched the car in a month. Right. Literally
Mm-hmm.
no nut and bolt checks, no nothing. Like I literally just visually inspected my paint markers really quickly and towed the car to Autobahn. So my alignment was probably messed up from all those Road America curbs. I did not get new tires for this event. My tires were like 2-3 event old. Like they were done as well. My whole point of the doing Autobahn was, well, I need to tow the car back, so I have to fly back anyways. So, and there's an event at 45 minutes from where my car was at. And if I could get it for free, aka instruct, I'm just gonna do Autobahn. Might as well, right?
Yeah.
So that's basically what happened. I had an unprepped car. I didn't even do an oil change. This is the longest I've gone without doing an oil change in an 8.6 period. It was like 3 or 4 events at this point. And I was actually really nervous about that the entire time because I was like, fuck, is my motor blows because of this? I'm an idiot. I inspected the oil. It looked clean. It was still overfilled. Yeah, so I was like, okay, this is hopefully nothing happens. And I came in with the mentality of, you know, I'm not going to push it. I'm not going to cause a wreck, and I need to tow the car back home. So the first session was the only good session, really, because that was the only one that my tires were still okay-ish. The heat wasn't too bad, and I could get something, right? So and me casually driving, still trying to figure out some stuff. I got a 32.9.
What was your lap time last year?
32.7 or 8.
Nice. So you're 2/10 off your PB.
Yeah.
In the first session.
Yeah, but after that, it was like I could not get a 32s again. That was it.
Was the weather just so much better that Saturday morning compared to the rest of the weekend?
Yep, it was cooler. The first day was cooler, but overall, like after the first session, Autobahn always gets really, really, really hot. You were there. You were having cooling issues last year as well.
That was the worst. I fucking
Yep.
hated it. 97-degree ambient temps was terrible.
Yep. That was the summer. It did not get any better in September.
That's a big bummer too, because I know a lot of people were looking forward to Autobahn this year because it was a month later than usual.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a lot of hope that the weather would be cooler. And if anything, it was just as hot as last year.
But no thunderstorms, luckily. So we dodged that. But yeah, it was really, really hot. The tires after like 20 to 25 heat cycles or whatever it was I had on my tires, like they were done. Like I was sliding a significant amount. And like I think I basically figured out how to drive around the car after like 3 or 4 events, basically. So like I caught up to the car.
Gotcha.
And yeah, I mean the car drove okay. I still dealing with the understeering issues. But yeah, and the car was really like the track is really bumpy, so especially turn 6, like the car would just bounce, and it just my head's like bouncy as well. So I was like, all right, whatever. But yeah, I gave it my all. I mean, the second session of Sunday, that was one session where I was like, I'm gonna just put it all out there, and I was drenched in sweat. I was out of breath at the end of the session, and I know I drove the best I could have driven in that session. And I got a 33.3. I could not even match my Saturday morning session time.
Damn. That's rough.
But, it's all good. Peter got a 32 flat. Props to him. He had fresh set of tires. His car's killing it. He's killing it. Scott's killing it.
Dude, yeah, that's crazy. I actually have the lap times pulled up. Yeah, so Peter did a 32.0. Dan did a 32.1. Evan did a 32.6, and that is the front wheel drive record.
Yeah. So, fun fact for all those guys too, they couldn't match their PB. All their PBs, minus Peter, Stan and Evan had up their PB was on the first session of the weekend.
Wow.
Peter was the only one that improved the next day when it got cooler because he put on new tires as well.
I wonder what Sam did. So Sam Bosnian in street class with his 350Z. Yeah, 350Z. I want to make sure it's not 370. He was in the 33s on Saturday. And then I don't know if he did the first session on Sunday or the second session on Sunday, but he went and did a 31.8. So he dropped 1.2 seconds. I don't know what he did. I know he did install new tires at Road America, but I
Hmm.
can't imagine him installing new tires again here at Autobahn. But it is his home track, and he's a heck of a driver.
Yeah,
But he did very, very well.
yeah, that's
So
pretty good. Autobahn is not a power track. It's a kind of a neutral. It's an equalizer track.
it is.
For example, I think Jamie did a 30 something.
Jamie Santos, he did a 29.9.
Okay, he did 29.9. Club CR was a 32, 2 seconds apart, and he has 3 times the power.
Yeah. And then
You
even
know,
our buddy Andy,
he's at
20.
28.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Andy has double the power, so it's not a power track, and then that's why I kind of really like Autobahn because I can actually try to be competitive at this track if I try. Because like, but my gearing is still weird. I'm just having to shift to fifth every awkwardly. Um, but yeah, the moral of the story for Autobahn for me was that I came to Autobahn because it was free and I had to just drive home. So I was like, might as well do the event, right? So I wasn't really
Yeah.
necessarily excited about Autobahn, and I wasn't excited when I left. And that like I had to reevaluate some things. And I had a long call with Andy, our buddy Andy in the Corvette, because he
Yeah.
felt the same exact way. He got P5. I got P5. I'm like, what are we doing? Like, how did we like? His car is not competitive at all. His class is a different situation. It's a money race, right, for him, track mod.
Yep.
Um, he increased his horsepower by like 10%. Everyone else doubled. Like if he was competing last year, he would have been podium, but he
Yep.
was P5 and by a big margin. Like I think COBB McHugh did a 125 or something like that. Club TR on the other hand, I think there's some improvements that need to be made on my car that I can do to make it better. How much better? That I don't know. I don't know if I can get this car to be a consistent podium. The season has showed me that yes, I was consistently podium level last year, but it wasn't like it was. I got podiums last year, but it was partially due to luck or partially due to skill, right?
Mhm.
This year, everyone upped their game. I mean, I tried to up my
Yeah.
game. I kind of went backwards a little bit, but everyone upped their game. People became better drivers. People built better cars, and they went faster. And I'm at the limit of my car. I would say pretty close to the limit of what my car can do, unless I buy tires every session, every weekend. Um, is this the right car for me? Is this the right car for the Club TR? I don't know. Um, a little part of me is like, should I just switch and go to GLTC? Because I can
Mhm.
see this car being competitive in that. Like if you look at my
Mhm.
lap times, like so I weighed and dynoed my car at Road America, and I'm at GLTC power to weight. Um, and I'm doing same lap times, like top 5 lap times as GLTC
Right.
at Road America and Autobahn consistently.
Yeah.
So is that just a better segue for me? Like, am I done improving? Like, another question is for me that I was talking to Jim about this too. Is like, has my growth stopped? Right? Have I stopped learning in time attack? Is this it, or is my progression now really slow? Is there anything new I can learn in time attack to go faster as a driver, builder, or whatnot?
Mhm.
I wouldn't say it's a builder class, but still.
Um,
So those are all the questions I asked myself on the drive back.
you had like 18 hours to contemplate all of that.
Yeah.
Did you
Well,
land on any decision as far as like whether you want to do another year in Club TR or set your car up for a GLTC?
I don't have a decision for it yet. There's a lot of things I'm currently working on in terms of. Uh, I think for me right now, my first focus is trying to be more financially stable. Um,
Yeah,
whether it's
I hear
jumping
that.
into a proper business or a job that will pay me more, um, so I can continue to do this. Right? Like I don't want to
Yeah,
be doing this and then worrying about financials. I don't want to do that.
yeah, it's
So
expensive.
it's an expensive hobby. So that's kind of my first priority right now, trying to figure this out, and I'm working on it. Um, if I can figure that out, and then it depends on how much time that would take, right? Out of myself, like how much my manpower, that new role or that new business or whatever might take to help me build to a point where I can be better off. Then it depends on that. So right now, I'm not promising anything. I'm not planning on doing a lot of upgrades to the car. I'm gonna do like small things here and there. Like I talked to Ito about some aero development for the car, minor stuff, and then I'm gonna get the coilovers reval for next year.
Yep.
And maybe pull some weight out. But like super minor stuff. I don't know how much of an improvement it will net, but yeah, so the car is going to sit like that for next year, and I might do like 2 or 3 events in Club TR, or I might just put a cage in it and do 2 or 3 events in GLTC. I don't know if I'm ready for that yet. I'm leaning more towards the Club TR part for now, just to save money.
If you were to go and set up the car for GLTC, it would become heavier, correct? Or do you think you could offset the weight of the cage with some? I don't know. I feel like the car is going to
trying
get
to think
heavier with
about
the
that.
cage.
So I was talking to our buddy Kunwu. He just caged his GR86 and he weighs around 2950 with him in the car with the cage. That's about 180 pounds heavier than what GLTC is required to be at for my car. Right, like I made 215 wheel horsepower, and my weight was limited to 2770. So let's say 2800 to be safe. So 2,800 pounds. I can take the radio out. I can take the HVAC out, and got everything behind the dash.
Right.
I could probably take another 30, probably like 40 pounds out.
Okay.
Replace the roll bar, 15 pounds out there.
So basically, what the real reason I was asking that question was because you do have an opportunity for having a little bit more power if you went for equal length headers, and
Not by
so
much.
not by much, but also
Oh, that's
you're
another
not.
thing. I also bought equal length header. Forgot
Nice.
about that.
Oh, heck yeah. Going back to the high school days of doing exhaust installs. But it seems like if it does add like 5 or more horsepower, then that can compensate for the weight gain, if there is going to be any kind of weight gain. Additionally, would you be running wider wheels and tires for GLTC? No, same width, same tires.
Yep. I would be the same width, same tires. I don't know, different tires. Definitely different tires. I don't want to run these tires.
Join the RE71 RS game.
I can't run that in GLTC.
Oh, really? It's not allowed?
No.
Wow,
Where you been,
did
dude?
not know that. I'm not in GLTC.
I'm not in GLTC either.
True, but I'm not even contemplating it. So I wouldn't even. I have not bothered to look up the rules.
Don't you watch GLTC?
I do. It's very fun.
Yeah.
I was kind of missing. Go on.
Yeah, sorry. They got three tires that are very common. Nexans, they have Kuma V730s, and they have RT660s. I think the people that are running RT660s are sponsored by Falcon, but yeah, I think V730 would be the way to go for myself.
Does that seem to be the tire that handles weight better, like the heavier weight cars?
No, that would be the Nexan, I think.
Okay, that'd be my biggest concern. That's why I love the RE71 RS, because the sidewall is so incredibly stiff. It seems to handle the heavier weight of my car. I put the tires through so much shit, and they still have. I mean, the tread is low, but they haven't delaminated on me like the RT660 definitely would have done by now.
Yep.
So, man, you got a lot on your plate to go and contemplate. Another option. Go on.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say, like, to use this next year as kind of a development year, and not necessarily like go out. Maybe do like 1 or 2 Gridlife events in Club TR, but spend most of the year doing local stuff and really dialing in the car to be 100% as happy as you can make it.
Yeah, that's definitely an option. That's what I'm more leaning towards anyways. Because I also don't know if I want to keep the car long term. and if I cage it, I'm keeping it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I need to do the math on how much the car would weigh with the cage. Like, how much does a cage weigh?
I have no idea. Ask Kunwu. Or we can ask we can talk to Kunwu offline and Matt and everyone else and see how much weight their cars have gained by adding a cage in. How much did you say Kunwu's 86 weighed again?
Oh, his 86 weighed 2950, and he can probably take out another 80 pounds by taking the windows out and the AC out. And if he goes another carbon drive shaft, it'll be another 10 pounds right there. So he would be at 2840,
Okay.
roughly 2840.
Does he have a lightweight battery?
I think so.
I would assume
Okay.
so.
Yeah, so that would be about 60, 70 pounds overweight for GLTC. There's probably other things you could do to take weight out. If I'm caging the car, I'm fucking gutting. I'm like gutting it completely. So there's
Yeah,
definitely
I don't
like
blame you.
wiring stuff you could do and whatnot. Yeah, you can take some more weight out.
GLTC, it just looks like whether you're at the front of the class or at the back of the pack, you're having a good time. It
Yeah,
looks like a lot of fun.
yeah. I mean, special shout outs this weekend to Dana for getting his podium in GLTC. Like, super proud of that guy. He's been killing it. He came in sick and he was like knocked out in the car when I saw him on Sunday or no Saturday, and he got a podium overall on the weekend, which is super proud of him for that. Additionally, Jim, it was his first weekend in GLTC and he killed it. Like, he would have been top 10 if his motor didn't blow.
Oh no.
I think I forgot what race it was, but on Sunday he money shifted. Yeah, something. I think he said that he couldn't get into a gear, and then he forced it, and when he forced it, he accidentally forced it the wrong gear.
That's exactly what I did. That's exactly what I did in
Yeah.
Mid-Ohio. Wasn't going in, and I gave it some muscle. I thought I had the fourth gear, and turned out to be
Mhm.
second gear.
That's exactly what he did, and he blew up
Mm,
in front of Eric Jensen. Um, but yeah, overall, it just looks like a lot of fun. And
yeah.
he also said that he only got hit like 2 or 3 times, so it's fun. I was like, do I want to get my car hit on track and be okay? That's another thing I gotta accept. If I do GLTC, I gotta accept that hey, this car's gonna get fucked.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
And it could be like a single race could take you out for the whole season. Like one incident can, depending on how bad the incident is, of course. But
Yeah,
like that's always at the back of your mind.
incident
How did
or
Matt
motor
do?
blowing.
Yeah, how did Matt do? Matt Beck.
I'm not sure, but he was running into some problems. His car was reliable-ish, but his shock basically came apart in one of the races. And he was kind of bouncy. He was wondering why, and then his clutch also had some issues. So he was busy. He was a busy day for him.
He's always a busy man.
But his V6 is doing much better than his LS. Who knew VQs were reliable?
I think he just had really bad luck with those two LS motors or three. What all the
Yeah,
V8s he's had some kind of bad luck with them.
I
Well,
told him
good.
if I blow my motor, he's helping me LS swap my car. I'm gonna be the new Ravi.
Except the Ravi that actually goes out racing with his V8 car. He's gonna hate me for saying that. Quick update on me. I have no update for the Focus. I'm still waiting for the limited slip differential to arrive. The Quaife mount tune differential still has not shipped yet. So once that arrives, then I can actually start ripping into the Focus to get
Hmm.
that transmission pulled out, synchros done, shift fork done, LSD installed, get the car back on the ground, and going to have fun again.
Yeah,
It really sucks having a 5-speed, and it's a 5-speed that has really bad ratio between third and fifth.
yeah. You're not doing Gridlife next year, are you?
If I do, it'd be one event. The one event I would do would be Lime Rock.
Yeah.
Carol and I would make like a trip out of it, so I would try to see if a bunch of other people from Texas would be
Carol
interested.
and I. Carol and I. What about me, bitch?
Well,
We always go on these trips together.
that is true. Let me finish. So, Carol's on board with like doing like an East Coast kind of a trip up. Well, not even East Coast, Northeast kind of a trip.
Mm.
And so, if I can get other people, you, Matt, Kunwu, and what 5 other people, we need like roughly 8 people for transport. to ship our cars over from Texas over to Lime Rock, then she is down. I'd be down for that.
And then what's the tour that you're doing?
We would fly out there. So like I would actually want to spend like a whole week out there, or close to a week. So ship the car out there and then fly out to the Northeast, pick up a rental car, and just explore Boston. Like I've never been to Boston, never been to the Cape, haven't been anywhere, really anywhere in the Northeast. The closest I've done is Manhattan, and that's just on that one area of New York. There's so much more to go and explore.
So I have been to 40 states so far, right?
Yeah.
And I have not explored the Northeast, really the East Coast in general. So that would be a good thing for me to do too. Like my whole plan for this year for Lime Rock was to do a trip kind of like what you're saying, but a little bit differently. And I would be driving through the Smoky Mountains, Atlanta. I would want to explore all that. So I wanted to do a driving thing similar to what we did with Laguna, but with Lime Rock. Instead of shipping the car, we would just drive.
Yeah.
But yeah, Lime Rock is definitely on the bucket list for next year.
Yeah.
I want to do Laguna too.
You want to do Lime Rock and Laguna next year?
It just sounds like so much fun.
You should convince Ravi with his V8 BRZ to take it out there.
Well, he has to fix it first.
You can fly in there a week early and help him fix it up.
That's this weekend. So speaking of this weekend, I am going to Vegas this weekend for Supras in Vegas, which is now being turned into like a GR festival. So I'll be out there for like a car show and a racetrack. There's an event at the racetrack over there with GR Festival. They're shipping a Marizo GR Corolla for me to Vegas. I'm pretty excited to drive that around.
It's going to have the Marizo Motorsports decal slapped onto the side of it.
That would be a huge issue. That would be a huge conflict of interest right there. I don't know about that one.
I don't know. Someone slapped a magnetic Marizo banner onto the side of it. I don't know where it came from.
Yeah, I don't know. They probably thought because it's a Marizo car, that's why they put the Marizo Motorsports on there. It's on a track. I don't know.
They thought it was a mess up at the factory. They just want to help out the employees and just get the car complete.
Yeah.
It'll be a good time.
It'll be a lot of fun. I've never been. Oh shit, my phone fell.
Bye, Fez.
Hold on. Pause. Okay. Yeah, I've never been to Supras in Vegas. I'm really excited to go there with my buddy Andy. If you're listening, Andy, I called you my buddy, not my coworker. Yes. So should be a good time.
That'll be cool. Oh, and speaking of weekends, so the weekend that I met Andy and your other coworker, Tushi?
Tome. He goes by Tome.
Tome. Okay. What's his? Do you know his actual name?
Atsushi Sawatome.
Okay, Tome for me. Any case, it was awesome meeting Tome and Andy. Not last weekend, but the weekend before when I was in Dallas. Went out to Dallas Karting Complex. We went karting. Tome, Andy, you, I, Min, and his girlfriend. Just had some fun shooting shit on the go-kart track. That go-kart track is pretty slick, but also I like the new layout. I like it more than the old one.
The other track is even more slick. It's literally on like someone spilled oil all over the track. Yeah.
And they're doing the maintenance on that one to try to get it better. But
yeah.
In any case, the new layout that I finally experienced was a lot of fun. And once again, kart for kart, day for day, weather for weather, I beat you. I just had to put it on the record. Just had to put it out there.
Who beat you in your own car?
I know. I have to go fix that. That was 3 years ago. I've become a better driver.
Okay, we'll see. Give me your car right now.
Sure. Okay, go ahead. you don't have fourth gear.
Bet I'll still beat you. You are 50 pounds lighter than me. Okay.
I know. That's a huge advantage, realistically, with how low power it is. Yeah, go-karts. I agree. So for both of us, the season is done. The Gridlife season is done. I'm not going to I'm not going to Laguna or pit race. Are you going to pit race? Probably not. You just got the car in Texas. So in any case, so we can kind of see where we're going to land in terms of season points. I don't know if it's really going to change that much with 2 more events. Yeah, they updated already. So you and I both are in 6th place for our respective classes. So because over at Autobahn, Joe did phenomenally well. He got his 4th race underneath his belt, and he got 1st.
Mhm.
He is now sitting in 2nd behind Luca. Brad also got his 4th event. Brad Moore with the 718 came in. So
Mhm.
he improved. No, I think he held. No, he wasn't 2nd and moved down to 3rd because Joe is now beating him.
Mhm.
Sam Bosnia moved down to 4th. Eddie moved down to 5th. I moved down to 6th, all because of how freaking well Joe did. And then Ross actually moved up. Ross with the M3, so he's sitting in 7th. So it's kind of cool. The top 7 places are all 7 different manufacturers. We got a Mitsubishi Lancer, Subaru
Mhm.
WRX, Porsche Cayman, Nissan 350Z, Honda Civic, Ford Focus, and BMW M3. That was a
Okay,
good
so
lineup.
currently Club TR, Evan McLaren is leading. Then you got Peter Granberg sitting in P2. He does have a chance to potentially beat Evan. If he gets, because
How would he do that?
he's going to Laguna Seca and he's going to pit. He has to get P1 in both places and get the record in both places. And that's how he beats Evan. But Evan is also going to pit. Chances of Peter winning with Evan there, slim, unless Evan's cars breaks. So, Evan has a faster car overall. Peter, luck needs to be on his side for him to win, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got James Houghton sitting number 3, Mario Moroni sitting number 4, Stan Faingold sitting number 5. We do not have different manufacturers here. Everyone has K24 swapped in one shape or form. They're all Hondas. So screw you guys. And I am number 6th. Sitting behind me is Evan Weeder. So yeah, there's a lot of K24 cars, but this is the most amount of FA24s I've seen in top 10 for the first time. I am proud of that. Fez Bobber, number 6th. Myself, FA24. Jeremy Bailey, number 8th, FA24. Ian Flavin, number 9th, FA24. Really proud of all those guys. We got 3 cars in top 10 with an FA24.
That's pretty badass. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But if you want to be top 5, you have to do a Honda K24.
Hey, man, listen, not yet. Not yet. I'm going to get them next year.
Well, okay, that just answered your contemplation of what you thought about for 18 hours inside the truck, debating between Time Attack and Club TR or GLTC. You're gonna go into Club TR next year.
I'm tired of Club TR. Be very honest with you. But I
It's so
can't leave
confusing.
on a bad note. I can't leave on a bad note. I need to
You
fucking
should
get
have
top
you
3.
should have dropped at Laguna last year when you were P1. That should have been your last race. That would have been the
Honestly, bro.
highest of notes.
I got very close to being top 3 last year in the season.
Yeah,
You know,
you're P4.
I got P1 at Laguna. Should have stopped, but no. Let's spend more money in your car and change everything and fuck your shit up. That was me. Sorry.
It's addicting. No, it's okay.
But
I can't
yeah,
believe how many races Peter has done. I didn't realize he had already done 6 races.
yeah, he's doing 2 more. He's doing eight races.
Well, good for him. He's got the funds to support it.
Club TR had 76 competitors this year, and Street had 53 competitors. Sorry, Trackmod had 52 competitors, which is wild to me because it's like the most, probably one of the most expensive classes out there. But
Yeah.
I guess random, like a regular Corolla is in there.
Relatively to our classes, you did better. Getting 6 out of 76 is a harder task. Like, that's a higher percentile compared to what I did. Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
Club TR in general, like on average, our class had 30 people competing, 25 to 30 people competing every single weekend. Club TR in general is one of the harder classes to compete in terms of competition.
100%.
You got to have a great car and you got to be a great driver. You can't miss out on one or the other because there's not much you can do as a car.
And you just look at the lap times. Like, at Autobahn, the top 5 are all within a second. Where in street
Mhm.
class, the top 5 were spread across 3 seconds.
Yeah,
You were saying that Andy got 5th, and he was 3 seconds off of for P1. So,
yeah.
like, the smallest spread. Well, let me see Sunday Cup. Sunday Cup 42, 44. Dude, yeah, Club TR was even a tighter packed competition than Sunday Cup. Sunday Cup had a 2-second spread.
Yeah. Yeah, usually how it goes, man. It's a really, really competitive class. Like, you can't mess up corners as easily because like each tenth matters. All right. Well, that's all I had for today's podcast. Anything else, Nick, you want to talk about?
Nothing else. I'll be up in Dallas helping my mother move to her new place.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining. Have a good one.
Yep. Talk to y'all later. Bye.